Hello YouTube, welcome again to my channel. This time I wanted to tell you about a little event that's going to happen November 4th and 5th, 2017 in a little town called Warwick, New York. There's going to be a number of people gathering there who have been Jehovah's Witnesses in the past and who have left. Most of them have not decided to leave because they have wanted to live a debauched lifestyle, but rather they have left oftentimes because they have come to realize that the teachings of the Watchtower are not in fact true. So, these people are usually called evil, they're called mentally diseased, and they're shunned by their former friends and family. However, those of us who have left can attest to the fact that once you put Watchtower behind you, even though there's a lot of pain from the people that you miss, life gets better. There's a lot of things that you don't even realize when you're in the Watchtower that make your life really difficult and really not fun to live. So this gathering is partially a celebration. It's a celebration of our freedom from tyranny. It's a celebration of our freedom to think for ourselves. It's a celebration of our not allowing ourselves to be lied to by a publishing corporation anymore. Now true, these are some harsh words, but this meeting is also a chance to extend an opportunity for the Watchtower representatives to come and to listen to our stories and to talk with us. We know, of course, that the likelihood of their doing this is extremely small. The Watchtower is extremely arrogant. They believe they're 100% right all the time, and when you show them factual evidence that they're not, well, they begin to slander you and to say bad things about your person. So, many of us are tired of letting this happen. We are tired of having our families and our friends taken away from us on false pretenses. We are tired of being slandered by a corporation that we worked for diligently for sometimes decades. And we're tired of letting the Watchtower craft the whole dialogue. We want the world to know what it is really like to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, I want to emphasize the fact that this event is not about hating Jehovah's Witnesses. In fact, if we didn't like Jehovah's Witnesses or didn't care about them, we would not spend our time trying to inform people what the Watchtower really is, what the Watchtower really teaches. Our biggest gripes. The Watchtower has for decades protected child molesters through the use of a two-witness policy. That means if there was not a second witness to a child's allegation of molestation, nothing would be done about it. Oftentimes, in fact, the vast majority of times, child abuse was not reported to authorities. I dare say that if it was reported, that's in the extreme minority. The Australian Royal Commission investigated the Watchtower, and over the course of 50 years, there were 1,006 documented cases of child molestation that had not been reported to the authorities. Not a single one. This is an extremely damaging policy. The Watchtower, pretending to not want to smear Jehovah's name, has instead done just the opposite. With this policy, they have dragged it through the mud and made it repugnant to people. Therefore, we want to bring light to this policy to prevent further victims from being treated the same way past victims have, and also to bring accountability to those who commit crimes. A second aspect of the Watchtower that we have a gripe with is their blood transfusion policy. This policy has caused the death of many people. How many exactly, I do not know. But this policy is neither scriptural nor is it beneficial. It's on the whim of a couple of men who have decided to interpret scriptures a certain way and read their beliefs into them. And this is done to separate them from society. And the result is people's lives. And it's a horrible price to pay for somebody's pride, for the pride of the Watchtower is what it comes down to. And a third thing that we want to bring attention to is the shunning. Watchtower uses emotional violence, you might even say emotional terror tactics, to try to keep people as their members, or to try to coerce them to return to the Watchtower. Those terror tactics are as follows. When you are one of Jehovah's Witnesses, you are taught that you should only associate with Jehovah's Witnesses. You are taught that other people, no matter how good they may seem, are at the very best bad association because they are not serving Jehovah. A truly indoctrinated Jehovah's Witness will, for the vast majority of their life, not have any friends that are not Jehovah's Witnesses. And I testify to this as somebody who spent 3 decades as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, during which time all of my friends were only exclusively Jehovah's Witnesses. That's what the governing body wants. So, when you decide to leave, all of those people that used to be your friends will now think that you are an evil person. They will think that you have forsaken God and that you're under the influence of none other than Satan the devil himself, and that you now desire to live a life of debauchery. They look upon you with derision. This could even be people that you bent over backwards to help multiple times over the course of more than a decade. Those people that could have been your close confidants will now be people that won't even look at you or won't even acknowledge you if they see you in public. That will include family members. I know this to be true because I used to shun some of my family members. So this is the reality of being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And all this is packaged by a religion whose own literature demonstrates that they have multiple times predicted things to come that have not come to pass. And they have done this multiple times in the name of God. By Deuteronomy chapter 20, verses 18, or 20 through 22 rather, this makes them false prophets, which means they have no authority to act in the manner in which they're acting. Thus, their religion is not true, and they hide their falsehood through deceit and through trickery and through hypocrisy. One merely needs to read their own literature to see this to be true. In fact, if you review their God's Kingdom Rule book, which came out, I think, 2013 or 2014, they will tell you in one sentence that in 1914 that the Bible students began looking for the appearance of Christ, but then later they will admit that the Bible students originally thought that Christ was present in 1874. Therefore, it is completely false that the Bible students started to recognize Christ's presence in 1914. They thought he had been present for 40 years at that point. So their religion and their literature is full of hypocrisies and half-truths and deceptions such as that. And those deceptions are what keep people in an emotionally abusive situation. Thus, when people wake up and walk away, oftentimes there's the trauma from their past from having been involved in such a group that has to be dealt with. But once you work through all that, life gets much better. So join me November 4th and November 5th in Warwick, New York, for a celebration of our freedom. Thanks for watching.